Prevention of type 2 diabetes should target prediabetes remission rather than waiting for established dysglycemia. This is Planetterrian Daily, episode 147. A review in Nature Medicine argues that prevention efforts should restore normal blood glucose before dysglycemia becomes established. The authors call for an agenda built around mechanistic heterogeneity, life course risk architecture, and scalable precision tools. Current approaches often intervene too late once dysglycemia is already fixed. The review frames prediabetes remission and restoration of normal glycemia as the primary targets instead of waiting for full disease onset. This approach draws on early biological signals that could shape more effective metabolic interventions. Now, shifting to a very different area of research. Most people have heard that low-fat dairy is the safer choice for heart health and weight control. The assumption rests on saturated fat content alone. In a 12-week study, adults who ate 3 full-fat servings a day showed no meaningful increases in weight, body fat, cholesterol, or insulin resistance. Participants also recorded lower blood pressure and higher intakes of calcium, protein, and vitamin D. The food matrix of whole dairy, its proteins, fats, and micronutrients working together, appears to blunt the expected rise in cholesterol or insulin resistance. One detail from the trial stands out. Participants absorbed more calcium and vitamin D without measurable metabolic cost. The finding suggests the physical structure of dairy may matter more than isolated fat grams when the body processes each component. On a different note, fossil analysis shows that early snakes occupied underground, terrestrial, and marine niches rather than following one pathway. Snakes evolved from lizards and today number more than 4,000 living species. Their sparse fossil record has left the drivers of the limbless body plan unresolved for decades. New examination of early fossils reveals the limbless form appeared across multiple ecological contexts. The origin of snakes remains one of evolutionary biology's most debated questions. The findings refine understanding of how this body plan emerged under varied habitat pressures. Next up, tumor cells engage an immune checkpoint that had not been previously mapped in detail. The mechanism allows evasion even when other checkpoints are blocked by existing treatments. Cancer cells exploit this hidden immune off switch that permits continued growth despite standard therapies. Identification of the pathway opens a potential route for combination therapies that target the additional layer of regulation inside tumors. Further work will test whether blocking the newly identified switch restores immune recognition in models. The discovery points to a previously unrecognized layer of immune regulation. Now, shifting to another area, daily cannabis users woke with higher levels of the stress hormone cortisol than non-users. The study measured cortisol upon waking in habitual users versus controls. The pattern suggests disruption of normal daily stress rhythms. Researchers note the finding raises questions about long-term effects when cannabis is used for stress relief. Frequent cannabis users may wake up with unusually high levels of the stress hormone cortisol, suggesting their daily stress rhythms could be disrupted. The observation challenges assumptions that cannabis reliably dampens stress system activity over time. On a different note, researchers at IMDEEA Materials Institute applied controlled mechanical compression to alter a catalyst's atomic structure. The modified material delivered energy efficiency comparable to pure platinum in hydrogen fuel cell tests. Publication in Electrochimica Acta reports the reduction in platinum loading while maintaining output. The approach used 75% less platinum yet matched the performance of the pure metal. The high cost of platinum is one of the main barriers to wider adoption of hydrogen fuel cells. Controlled compression modifies the atomic scale structure to achieve the same performance at lower metal content. Adding glycerol to uranium-contaminated water triggered microbial activity that removed about 95% of dissolved uranium within 130 days. The microbes produced an unusually stable uranium compound rarely seen in prior work. The process offers a potential in situ method for stabilizing contaminants underground. Field trials will test scalability in additional mine sites. Scientists discover bacteria that lock toxic uranium into a stable form. Deep underground, bacteria may be capable of trapping toxic uranium before it spreads. Next up, engravings from southern Africa contain repeated grids, parallel lines, and right angles on ostrich eggshells more than 60,000 years old. Analysis indicates the patterns were planned rather than improvised. Researchers compared the markings against random generation models to confirm non-random organization. The structured designs suggest cognitive capacities for abstract planning existed at that time. More than 60,000 years ago, humans in southern Africa were engraving ostrich eggshells with intricate geometric patterns that appear far more organized than previously realized. The engravers may even have planned entire patterns in their minds before carving them. On a different note, 2 beads made from giant rock scallops were recovered from sites in California. The artifacts predate previous estimates of marine bead trade by several millennia. The discovery shows high-status ornaments moved hundreds of miles from the coast earlier than thought. Archaeologists used the beads to revise models of early exchange networks. Oldest known giant rock scallop bead suggests California coastal trade began millennia earlier. The findings indicate that complex regional trade networks existed thousands of years sooner than current timelines allow. Before we go, keep an eye on how new trials test prediabetes remission as a primary endpoint in metabolic health studies. That covers today's science and health news. Share this with someone who's curious about the latest research. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. See you next time. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at NARA Network. Links in the show notes. One more thing, if you like today's episode, our sister show Models and Agents for Beginners is worth a spot in your feed. Artificial intelligence explained simply, for beginners and curious teens. It's one of the NARA Network's daily briefings, all free at naranetwork.com. New to the network? naranetwork.com Start Here picks the right daily briefing for you in about 2 minutes. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.